A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Let us start with the first snippet. Sin goods, S-A-N, sin. One of the meanings, you do something wrong in the sense that will take you to hell. We use a word, sin, wrongdoing. And here, Lok Sabha passes bill for cess on pan masala units. It is related to imposing or levying tax on a particular good. And coming to the second one, President evaluate, you should think of the word assess. US plans to extend travel ban to over 30 countries. It is thinking of extending the travel ban to over 30 countries. Simple words, but when it comes to travel, some people travel around the world quite often. Then we use a word for those people, globe-trotter, T-R-O-T-T-E-R, globe-trotter. And also, if you go out of the country, you may have a plan for 10 days. That is known as itinerary. But the spelling, based on the spelling, if you have to pronounce, you have to say itinerary. That sounds very awkward. We say itinerary. What is the meaning of itinerary? Travel plan. You have to think of these two words. Coming to the next one, petition flags dangers. Flag means to mark, and petition, filing a case or taking up a case legally, flags dangers. Judges aware of risks of generation AI in work, Supreme Court. It is about generation AI, artificial intelligence, the dangers at the workplace. Judges are aware of that. Coming to the next one, tough times. Cotton clouds hang heavy here. There are two important words. First one, let me read the remaining part of the snippet. Heavy rain, duty-free imports, and price drop batter Gujarat farmers. The moment you see the word tough, you have to think of a particular saying. What is that saying? When going gets tough, the tough get going. Have you heard of this any time? I'll repeat. When going gets tough, the tough get going. That means, irrespective of the hurdles, the tough people keep going. They never give up. A very useful expression. Coming to the word hang. In English, we have certain verbs. They come under confusing verbs. This one, hang, it can be a regular verb, it can be an irregular verb. As a regular verb, the forms are hang, hanged, hanged. As an irregular verb, the forms are hang, hung, hung. Then you may ask me, so where to use a regular form, where to use an irregular form? When we talk about persons, we use a regular form. The local government hanged the terrorist yesterday. When it comes to things, we use the irregular form. She hung the clothes in the backyard last night. This subtle difference you have to know. They have given many a time. Coming to rain, you all know important idioms. Rain, cats and dogs, rain in torrents, torrential rains, all these you have to think of. And also batter. Batter means to hit repeatedly. That also goes with rains in a way, but hit repeatedly by all these problems. Coming to the last snippet, all to play for. India and South Africa meet in series decider. We all know best of three. India won one day, South Africa won the second one, and today is the third one and the deciding one. Whichever team wins today's match will win the series as well. I'm sure a lot of people are waiting for this match across the country. Coming to the main headline, India-Russia friendship like the pole star, Prime Minister. Pole star, the one that shows a direction. So coming to the friendship between nail-biting maybe nail-biting finish. Friendship between India-Russia friendship like the pole star Prime Minister. And here we have cover of Roy's book does not violate law, Supreme Court. When you see the word cover of Arundhati Roy's book, you have to think of an important rule. When it comes to possession, we cannot use a possessive case with things, though exceptions are there. A lot of people say the book's cover is beautiful. That is not correct. We have to say the cover of the book is beautiful. This you have to recollect. Coming to the next one, MGNREGS being revamped before Bengal relaunch. That particular program is being revamped. Means what? Do things again, make things better, revitalize, revamp, all these, overhaul, and before Bengal relaunch. Coming to the pick, usually we have a pick on the front page. Today's pick, a very beautiful pick. Dawn in the hills. When you see the word dawn, you have to think of two words. One, this one, dawn and dusk. Dawn means the time before the sunrise. Before the sunrise, it is bright enough, you can see things, but before the sunrise, that is called dawn. Dusk means the time after the sunset. After the sunset, also things are visible. That time is known as dusk. We also use the expression twilight zone. Have you heard of that? There's a movie also, Twilight. There's a novel as well. You have to think of that. And some people, here we are talking about day and night. Some people are very active during the day. We use the word diurnal. Some people are very active during the night. We use the word nocturnal. Diurnal, nocturnal. And this pick is about what? A beautiful pick at the time of sunrise, because the word dawn has been used. Dawn in the hills. Plunging temperature. Plunging. Plunge means to go down. Go down suddenly. We use the word plummet, plunge. Houseboats moved on the banks of moor. Here it goes with boats. Tie the boats, keep the boats on the bank. Moved on the banks of the Dal Lake on Friday morning as cold grips Srinagar. Srinagar, the temperatures are plunging. Based on that, the city continues to record sub-zero temperatures at night. Pahalgam recorded the lowest temperature of minus 3.3 degrees Celsius in Kashmir. It has gone to minus 3.3. Biting cold you can experience. Coming to the other headline, government to streamline its public communication framework. There is one important word, streamline. Are you guys aware of this word? What is the meaning of streamline? While preparing for competitive exams, you have to learn a lot and you have to learn different subjects. If you don't organize, then you cannot remember. It results in a chaotic situation. So while preparing for competitive exams, you have to streamline your efforts. Means organize your efforts. Streamline, an important word, organize. And all the youngsters, you should know how to streamline your efforts while preparing for competitive exams. The last one for today, cheaper loans likely as repo rate cut by 25 BPS. Cheaper loans, what is the reason? Repo rate has been cut, likely as repo rate cut by 25 BPS. An important article for prospective bankers. You should have awareness regarding this, and I'm sure many of you have. Now let us go to the editorial. Today being Saturday, not only that, a lot of students have the exam, and keeping that in mind, I could not had another session. I could not design, but I'll present a familiar, not exactly familiar, but it goes with problems faced by women and sometimes minors also. Acid attacks, an important article. You should develop contextual awareness, and this will help in the exam. Today's editorial is all about victims, acid attacks, victims, and justice. Whether they got justice immediately, or it has taken a lot of time, and that time period, can it be justified? These are the pertinent questions. How does it start? Marked for life. Acid attack victims deserve better from courts and law enforcement. Acid attack victims, they deserve better. Better treatment from whom? There are two entities, one from the courts and the other one from law enforcement. Courts and law enforcement, they need better, they deserve better treatment. You can easily understand. When you read this, you should understand it means right now they are not getting what they deserve. Based on that, the writer says they deserve something better. Let us see how it goes. What is a stimulus? Stimulus is acid attacks. Shocked that an acid attack victim had not got closure 16 years after the crime was committed, the Supreme Court of India made a slew of oral observations early this week, calling the slow pace a mockery of the system. It seems someone got attacked, had to experience acid attack, and almost 16 years over. How many years? 16 years. And the person hasn't got justice yet. That is not acceptable. Shocked that an acid attack victim hadn't got closure 16 years after the crime was committed, the Supreme Court of India made a slew of oral. There is one important word, slew, means series of. Very good. Who is this? Naidu. Today you are here. Slew of oral observations early this week, calling the slow pace. What is the meaning of pace? Speed. Pace means speed. Slow pace, a mockery of the system. An important word. What is the meaning of mockery? Mock at someone, ridicule someone, mockery of the system, not respecting, ridiculing the system, something that is not at all acceptable. The Chief Justice of India, CJI, Justice Surya Kant, said acid attackers must not be shown any sympathy by courts and called for the entire system to respond against them. He has given a call. He says, or rather he said, those who resort to acid attacks, they should not be shown any sympathy whatsoever. And the system also should take serious or strict action against them. The Chief Justice of India, Justice Surya Kant, said acid attackers must not be shown. Must not be shown. Is it active voice or passive voice? Immediately you have to respond. We must not show any sympathy. Any sympathy must not be shown. It is in passive voice, and you all know the functions of must. One function, it is used to express a personal obligation either by the writer or the speaker, and second, to convey the idea something is compulsory. Must not be shown any sympathy by courts and called for. Call for means what? Demand. That's right. Looks like a new student. Banking aspirant? No, old student. And called for the entire system to respond against them. No mercy. Shaheen Malik. Shaheen Malik. Shaheen Malik was 26. Here the sentence talks about what exactly happened 16 years ago, who was a victim, how did the incident happen. Shaheen Malik was 26 and was studying for an MBA degree when she was attacked outside her office in Haryana in 2009, way back in 2009. Someone attacked her, active voice. She was attacked by someone, passive voice, past tense. That you have to know. This talks about the victim. Who is the victim here? Shaheen Malik. And what was she doing that time? She was pursuing her MBA. Very good. When you see that, you have to think of an MLA, all these. And where did the attack take place? She was attacked outside her office in Haryana in 2009. Till 2013, nothing happened in her case, she told the Chief Justice of India. 2009, 2013, nothing happened, it seems. Almost 5 years, 9, 10 plus 3, 5 years, nothing happened. And she herself told the Chief Justice of India. The case was finally transferred to Rohini Court in Delhi from Haryana, where the trial is pending and final arguments are on. 5 years, nothing happened. Later, what happened? The case was transferred from Haryana to Delhi, it seems. The case was transferred. The case was finally transferred. This is also past passive voice. The case was finally transferred to Rohini Court in Delhi from Haryana, where the trial, you all know we have got many a time, trial, trail, and all the words related to a case you have to recollect. Someone files a case, we call that person plaintiff. Someone who defends, defendant. The entire process is called trial. And every time you have hearings, proceedings, first hearing, second hearing, then you have to think of words like innocent, the person will be acquitted; guilty, that person will be convicted; judgment, verdict. And some people try to produce false evidence. Then what is the word you have to use? Alibi. Alibi means false evidence. Trial is pending and final arguments are on. Arguments are on, still going on. MS, important. How do you pronounce this? Imagine the spelling is MEZZ, MEZ. That's how you have to pronounce. It goes with a married woman or a woman who is not married. Generally, not married, we use Miss. Married, we use Mrs. But when you say MEZ, it doesn't talk about the marital status. It refers to a woman, either married or not married. Ms. Malik has undergone, present perfect active voice. Undergo, has undergone reconstructive surgeries, and in 2021 she set up Brave Souls, an NGO which offers medical and legal support to acid attack survivors. See how people respond. Acid attacker, imagine a woman got attacked and someone threw acid on her face, obviously will get affected psychologically and physically. And there are two ways of responding. One way, withdraw from the society, social activities, and become a recluse. That usually happens. But some people, they fight back and they don't want others to suffer like that. They try to contribute. And this is an example where instead of becoming a recluse, she decided to establish an NGO and she wanted to help the victims, similar victims. That is something highly commendable. Malik has undergone reconstructive surgeries, one thing, and in 2021 she set up. Here you can also say she founded. Find, found, found. That is one verb, but we have another verb. Found, founded, founded. Founded means what? Established. It goes with an NGO, a society, a company, a firm, an organization. Brave Souls, even the title sounds quite inspiring. Brave Souls, what is the name of the NGO? Brave Souls. That is highly motivating and inspiring. And what is objective? An NGO, important. Though it begins with a consonantal letter, the sound is a vowel sound, so we should say an NGO. We got a new example, which offers medical and legal support to acid attack survivors. In fact, she was knocking at the court's door with a PIL seeking formal recognition of survivors as persons with specified disabilities under the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016. She is fighting for them and she had come up with a particular thing. What is that? These victims of acid attacks, they should come under a particular group or category. Disabled based on Specified disabilities with Disabilities Act 2016. This is also a good thing, something appreciable. In fact, she was knocking at the door, court's door. An important expression, knock at the court's door, means approaching the court. She must have approached many courts. In this context, Supreme Court. Knocking at the door, an important idiom you have to learn and remember. In fact, she was knocking at the court's door with a pill seeking formal recognition of survivors. She wanted these survivors to be recognized as specified people with specified disabilities, seeking formal recognition of survivors as persons with specified disabilities, under which provision? Under the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016. She was bringing the court's notice to those acid attack victims who had been forcibly fed acid and were not marked for life like others who had acid thrown at them but nevertheless lived with terrible suffering. It seems there are two categories. This is a bit surprising. One, acid attack, it's a general expression. One, someone throws acid on someone else's face. Then we use, usually that's what we understand. She was attacked. But here, forcibly making someone drink acid, she talks about those people. Even they should be considered persons with specified disabilities. What is the reason? They are not dauntless efforts. Very good. You can't make out. Physically they seem okay, but internal damage, and that also causes severe suffering. This is also a good thing, highly commendable, and she deserves applause. With specified disabilities, she was bringing the court's notice to those acid attack victims who had been forcibly fed. Here we have one important word, who had been forcibly fed. Here it is in past perfect passive voice, one thing you have to focus on, grammar point of view. And what is the main verb? Fed. Actual verb is what? Feed. Feed, fed, fed. That you have to recollect. And were not marked for life like others. When someone is forced to take acid, drink acid, you can't make out. Externally, it is not visible. So people may not mark them victims of acid attacks. She is talking, even they should be considered. And were not marked for life like others. Who are the others? Who had acid thrown at them. There is also an important pattern. Have. Think of causative verbs. What are the 5 important causative verbs? Help, make, get, have, let. Here, who had acid thrown at them, but nevertheless, contrasting word, lived with terrible suffering. They lived with terrible suffering. Internal damage, obviously, every day it is hell for those people. Though it is not external, suffering is there, inevitable. The first part talks about the person who got attacked and who became a victim and how she responded to that adverse situation. Though it has been delayed almost 16 years, she established an NGO and she is fighting for those 2 categories. Second part talks about what? The response of the court and how the legal system has been working, whether it can be justified, the delay. If not, what action has to be taken. The Chief Justice of India, or the CJI, asked the centre to consider bringing an ordinance. Based on all this, the Chief Justice of India asked the centre to bring what? An ordinance. This is an important word. You all know the word ordinance. It's a legal term. It goes with government, governance. But there's another ordinance. And here the other one goes with defense. Ordnance factory. There you don't see what is the spelling. ORDNANCE. Ordnance. That goes with defense. Manufacturing, tankers, all these things. Whatever goes with war, defense related. And this is ordinance. You got to be very careful. The CJA asked the centre to consider bringing an ordinance. Solicitor, based on that perhaps, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, appearing for the centre on behalf of the centre, said no respondent could oppose the cause of the petitioners. No one can oppose, said here reporting verb is in past, then you have to recollect the rule that goes with indirect speech. If the reporting verb is in past, the tense is changed to a corresponding past tense. Based on that, no respondent, he must have said can react, can changes to what could. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, appearing for the centre, said no respondent could oppose the cause of the petitioners. No one can oppose. Here it has changed to can changes to past. Perpetrators, an important word. We have got many a time. Tell me what is the meaning of perpetrators. Perpetrators, those who commit crime, criminals, perpetrators of acid attacks who leave victims, mostly women and minors. Here the writer tells us who are the victims of acid attacks. Mostly women and also sometimes minors. Perpetrators of acid attacks who leave victims, mostly women and minors, scarred inside and outside for the rest of their lives, must meet with the same ruthlessness as they showed their victims, he said. This is an important sentence. What is a statement given by him? Those who attacked, they should also be treated the same way. Ruthlessly means what? Without any mercy, without any kindness, in the same manner, because they did not show any kindness or compassion towards the victims. They were ruthless. When someone throws acid, obviously a ruthless act, no kindness, no mercy. They should also get the same treatment. Perpetrators of acid attacks who leave victims, mostly women and minors, scarred inside and outside for the rest of their lives. Scar, an important word. What is the meaning of scar? Imagine I get a cut. Initially you see that, but after some time it may heal. But after healing also you can see a black mark. That is known as a scar. Then I'll be called Scarface. There's a movie also. Must meet with the same ruthlessness as they showed their victims, he said. The CJI ordered the Registrar General of the High Courts to provide the number and details of pending trials in acid attack cases. He also proposed the setting up of special courts to exclusively conduct acid attack cases on a day-to-day basis. Based on her appeal, the Chief Justice of India must have given the direction how fast to do, how to do. This sentence talks about that. Ordered, an important word. Why is it important? After certain verbs, we should not use prepositions. Discuss about, wrong. Order for, wrong. Inform to, wrong. Eye for eye, you can say scar mark, that is right. The Registrar General of the High Courts to provide the number and details of pending trials, one thing, in acid attack cases. He also proposed setting up of special courts to exclusively conduct acid attack cases on a day-to-day basis. Good. Taking action, expediting. Expedite means what? Speed up. And the situation calls for something like that. In the past, in Lakshmi versus Union of India and ORS, the court had directed the government to ensure that acid attack victims got proper treatment, aftercare and rehabilitation, and also asking it to look into the banning of sale of acid across the counter. One particular case that time, what was the court order? It ordered the government to ensure that acid attack victims, obviously they should get proper treatment and they should be provided aftercare and also rehabilitation. Besides these, the court also asked to look into the banning of sale of acid across the counter. Court also wanted ban on what? Selling acid across the counter. Imagine you can get acid just like that. There's a potential danger. There should be some reason to buy an acid bottle, and the person who wants to buy the acid bottle provides proper reason. Only then the shopkeeper has to sell the acid. That is a good thing. It's like a check. Section 124 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita deals with acid attacks and the punishment to be meted out. An important expression. Mete out means to give, to make someone experience. The punishment to be given, you can take it that way. It talks about Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita deals with acid attacks and the punishment to be meted out, but reality paints a grim picture. Law is one thing, reality is another thing. No doubt the law talks about what has to be done with acid attackers, but in reality it is not being done. Based on that, reality paints a grim picture. Grim picture means positive or negative? Obviously negative. With trials being long drawn and conviction rates low. Why a grim picture? On two counts. One, in this case, 16 long years. Trial gets extended, trials being long drawn, and the second dimension, conviction rates low. Whenever someone commits a crime, if the person is found guilty, then the person will be convicted. That means the person will get punishment. But it seems here the conviction rates are low. That is also not acceptable. According to latest National Crime Records Bureau data, there were 2007 incidents of acid attacks across the country in 2023. Yearly basis, what is the number? Acid attacks. The number is, in 2023, 207. There were 207 incidents of acid attacks across the country in 2023, with the West Bengal ignominiously, an important word, means in a way not something positive, negative. Topping the list, something like dubious distinction. Topping the list, positive, sounds positive, but in this context, negative. Topping the list with 57 cases, followed by UP 31. Victims of acid attacks, one of the worst forms of gender violence imaginable, deserve a lot better. Editorial ends on the same note, reiteration of the main idea. They deserve better. Victims of acid attacks, one of the worst forms of gender violence. The writer says it is one of the worst forms of gender violence, and these victims deserve a lot better. Same idea is being reiterated. That's all for today. An important editorial in the sense problems related to women. Definitely one has to consider. You have to read and develop contextual awareness, proficiency point of view, whatever is required. Otherwise also it is an important editorial, something not at all acceptable in the 21st century. Attacking someone with acid, not at all acceptable. Try to read once or twice and try to get contextual awareness. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. And Monday, a new pattern, new approach. It is going to be very useful. Try to attend Monday session. Thank you very much.